Hi, this is the lesson for how to find surface area of prisms. So first of all, the important thing is you recognize that the shape that you're working with is a prism. A prism is made up of polygons that are connected by rectangles. So the base would be a polygon that is parallel and congruent to another polygon, and it's connected by rectangles. Now with rectangular prisms, you could choose any of the rectangles to be the base, but I usually try to pick the one that looks like it's sitting on the bottom of it. So then always start by writing down the formula. The surface area of a prism is equal to 2 times big B plus pH. Big B in this formula represents the area of the base. And whatever the base is, in this case it's a square, but whatever the base is, you use the formula to find that area. The P stands for the perimeter of the base. And the H stands for the height of the figure, which means the distance from the two bases, from the bottom base to the top base. So first of all, when you do this, write down the base area. So that's going to be your big B. And the base is a square, so the formula for the area of a square or a rectangle is base times height, and that's a little b usually we use. So the base and the height, remember, are always perpendicular. So in this case, it would be 6 times 6, which is 36. You also need the perimeter of the base. And that means the distance around it. So you would add 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which is 6 times 4, which is 24. So now you can substitute in those values. So 2 times the area of the base, which is 36, plus the perimeter of the base, which is 24, times the height. Now the height is the distance between the bottom square and the top square, which is up here. Okay, the distance between them would be 2. And then at that point, you can just calculate those numbers. So 2 times 36 plus 24 times 2 gives you 120. And area is units squared, so square kilometers. Okay, the next one we have a rectangular prism. The base is a rectangle. And helpful to highlight that. So the surface area formula, and I like it when you write down the formula every time, 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. So we have base area, and the base is a rectangle, so area of a rectangle is little b times h, so base times height. So 5 times 8, which is 40. So the base area is 40. Then you have the perimeter of the base. Now, the base again is this yellow highlighted figure, so the opposite sides are 5, and these opposite sides are 8, so you add those together. That would give you 16 plus 5 plus 5, so that's 16 plus 10, which is 26. So put those in. Area of the base we said is 40. Perimeter of the base is 26. And the height is the distance from the bottom rectangle to the top rectangle. And so those are 10 units apart. So the height is 10. And then you calculate that. 2 times 40 plus 26 times 10 gives you 340 square inches. All right, in this next figure, again, it's a prism, and you have to determine the base. And what we have is we have two triangles that are parallel and congruent. So the base is a triangle. And the other thing, keep in mind, we know that the base is the triangle because you have two triangles that are parallel and congruent, and they are connected by rectangles. So surface area is 2 times the area of the base plus perimeter times height. So we have to find the base area, and we have to find the perimeter of the base. So base area. Now you have to look at the shape of the base. Like I said, it's a triangle. So the area of a triangle, if you look at your formula sheet, is base times height divided by 2. Now keep in mind the base and the height are the sides that are perpendicular. So it would be 4 times 3 divided by 2, which is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Then we have to find the perimeter. Now we know two of the sides are 4 and 3. This side right here is going to be the same as this one up here, which is 5. So you have to add those together, which would be 12. 5 plus 3 plus 4 is 12. So with the formula, we have 2 times 6 plus the perimeter times the height is the distance between the two triangles, which is 2. So that's 12 plus 24, which is 36 square feet. All right, here's another triangle problem. Now this is sitting different. It looks like it's sitting on a rectangle, but remember, we don't have another rectangle that is parallel to that one and congruent, but you do have two triangles that are parallel and congruent. So this will be our base. Okay, and then the other triangle is up in the front there. So formula, surface area is 2b plus ph. So base area. Now because the base is a triangle, area equals base times height divided by 2. Now keep in mind the base and the height are perpendicular. So it's the sides that are perpendicular. So you have a 3, and then you have this side right here, which is 4. So it would be 3 times 4 divided by 2, which again is 6. And then the perimeter would be 12 again. It just so happens to be the same. So 2 times 6 plus 12. And the height is the distance between the two triangles, which is 5. So that would be 72 square meters. Oh, this is in the wrong place. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to confuse you on that. Okay, so this next one is a pentagonal prism. So what we have for a base is a pentagon. So again, because it's a prism, the surface area is 2b plus 2 times big B plus pH, area of the base. So big B is area of the base. Now with a pentagon, keep in mind we don't have a formula, but what we can do when it's a regular pentagon is we can make a square, or excuse me, a triangle, make a triangle. And that is made up of 5 different triangles that are congruent. So the height of this triangle is 6.9. All of these side lengths are 10. So the area of one triangle is base times height divided by 2. Now the base of this triangle right here is 10. The height is 6.9. So 10 times 6.9 divided by 2. That's 34.5. Now that is the area of one triangle. But to make up the whole pentagon, you have 5 of those. So you have to take that times 5. And it gives you 172.5. That's your total base area. Now the perimeter is the distance around the pentagon. So it would be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. You add those all together, 10 times 5 is 50. And then the height would be how tall that thing is. So it would be 6 units. And then you can multiply that out. That would be 645 square miles. All right, now the formula for a cylinder is the surface area equals 2 times pi r squared. Now the base is a circle, which is pi r squared, and you have 2 of those, so 2 times the area of the base. And then this lateral area, the sides of it, would be 2 pi r h. So that's the formula you use for the surface area of a cylinder. So the big thing is write down your formula and then plug in the numbers. The radius is this distance right here. It's 3. And the height is your perpendicular distance to the other circle, which is 8. And then you type that in. 2 times pi times 9 plus 2 times pi times that. You should get 207.3, and that would be area, so it's square miles. All right, here again, find the surface area. So it is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So write your formula. Now the only thing you have to watch right here is the radius. Now they give us 8, but 8 is the entire diameter. So the radius is half of that. So r equals 4. And then the height is the distance between the circles, which is 12. And then you can type that out. Which should be 402.1 square meter. All right, next we have surface area of cones. Now the formula for the surface area of a cone is pi r squared, that would be the area of the circle, plus pi r L. L is the slant height. So it's this height right here. That's your slant height. So then you just plug in the numbers. So it's pi times the radius here is 6 plus pi times the radius is 6, and then the slant is 13.4. And then you can type that in. And just for time's sake, I'm not going to type it in, but you can plug that into your calculator. The next one, again, surface area is pi r squared plus pi r L. The big thing is 20 is the full diameter, so your radius here would equal 10. So pi times 10 squared plus pi times 10 times the slant, which is 22.4. And then type that out and you will have your answer. All right, lastly here, we have this, not lastly, but just about to the end, we have the surface area of pyramids. And the surface area for pyramids, what I usually do is I just find the surface area for all the sides and add them together. So it's all side areas. So the base, you have to determine the shape of the base. In this case, your base is a square. So it's base times height, which would be 6 times 6, which is 36. So that's the base area. Then your pyramid has triangles that form the rest of it. So the area of one triangle is base times height divided by 2. So this triangle right here, the base is 6, the height is 7.6, and you divide that by 2. And that's 22.8. Now that's the area for one triangle, and you have a triangle coming off each of these sides. They're all congruent triangles, so you take that times 4, and that gives you 91.2. And so then finally to get the total surface area, you add that to the area of the base, which is 36, and you get 127.2 square inches. So find the area of the base, find the area of the triangle, multiply it by 4, and then add those all together. And that's the end of the surface. Actually, I'm only going to add one more. You do have the surface area of a sphere. So let's assume that this is a sphere here. It's a little bit harder to draw a sphere in 3-dimension. So we have a sphere, the surface area, let's say that the radius is 10. The formula for surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So it's 4 times pi times 10 squared, and that would be 4 pi. If you multiply that out, you get 1,256.6 square units. And that's the end of this lesson. Thanks for watching.